The SNP has been accused of making empty and recycled election promises as Nicola Sturgeon's party pledged Scottish independence was essential to the long-term recovery of the country whilst unveiling their justice policies. Scottish Justice Secretary Humza Yousaf unveiled the party's justice election pledges, which involved the creation of a victims commissioner and consultation on scrapping the not proven verdict in court cases. Scotland is the only part of the UK where juries can return 3 verdicts at the end of a trial: guilty, not guilty or not proven. A number of political parties including First Minister Nicola Sturgeon have voiced their opposition to the verdict, making the policy one that looks destined to pass Holyrood, regardless of the parliamentary status. The Victims Commissioner would also be created to challenge the Scottish Government and legal authorities on behalf of victims. Mr. Yousaf also pledged that Scottish independence would not be a distraction from the fallout of the pandemic. In a speech today, Mr. Yousaf said, "Once the COVID crisis is over, we believe people in Scotland must have the right to decide their own future and whether they wish to become an independent country. Independence is not a distraction from recovery. It is essential for the long-term recovery people in Scotland deserve and need. It will equip our country and our parliament with the powers to build the better Scotland we know is possible." On justice reforms, he stressed, "We will work with all parties and with relevant stakeholders to take forward reform of Scotland's justice system. The SNP government is on your side and on the side of our communities. We will use all of our experience to do whatever we can to keep Scotland safe and continue to cut crime and help victims." But the Scottish Conservatives claimed the pledges were empty promises and claimed the SNP were glossing over their failings after 14 years running the Scottish government. Liam Kerr, Scottish Conservative Justice spokesman, added, "The SNP's record of empty promises and inaction on putting victims first speaks for itself. Now their big solution to fixing our broken justice system is a recycled policy from the SNP's 2019 programme for government and a U-turn on a victims commissioner role that they previously rubbished as a waste of funds." Only after pressure from the Scottish Conservatives is the SNP now considering a U-turn on the not proven verdict, which statistics show has a disproportionate impact on victims of sexual assault. The only time the SNP recognise soft-touch justice is in an election campaign. They've let victims of crime down time and time again. New analysis by the Scottish Conservatives also revealed that a victims fund, which the SNP launched 5 years late, paid out less than a fifth of funding promised in their 2016 manifesto. The Scottish Government said the Victim Surcharge Fund for practical help for victims of crime has only delivered £157,000 to date, despite the SNP pledging more than £1 million would be available in 2016. It comes as party leader Douglas Ross unveiled the party's criminal justice manifesto this week, which will include axing the not proven verdict and the repeal of the SNP's controversial hate crime law. Other measures include doubling the maximum sentence for attacks on emergency workers to 2 years, introducing whole life custody orders, and ending automatic early release. Neil Bibby, Scottish Labour Justice spokesperson, who previously put forward a pledge in 2011 for a dedicated victims commissioner, said, "The SNP has been in power for 14 years and in that time countless victims of crime and their families have been let down. So while this is a welcome step in the right direction, the question has to be asked, why has it taken so long for the SNP to take victims seriously?" Scottish Labour is committed to strengthening the Victims Code and taking action to promote the well-being of victims and their families.